India didn't just rise to the top of YouTube by accident. It's a mix of smart moves, perfect timing, and the sheer power of numbers. And as an Indian YouTuber, I've seen firsthand how this platform has become a battlefield we know how to dominate. But why exactly is India leading while some of the biggest creators around the world are struggling? Let's get into the strategy behind India's rise and what everyone else can learn from it. India's YouTube dominance really began with one key move: unlocking access. Before Jio, internet access was a luxury, expensive, and out of reach for most people. Then came the game changer, dirt cheap data. Jio dropped the cost of data by over 90%, and boom, millions of new users hit the platform almost overnight. People who had never even thought about streaming suddenly had access to unlimited content. And YouTube? It was the perfect place for them. Think about it, with 600 million internet users, and most of them young, India's audience is massive. We're talking about a population that's obsessed with content. And unlike in other countries where people casually browse YouTube, Indians dive deep. Whether it's for entertainment, learning, or just killing time, people are glued to their screens for hours a day. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about how Indian creators approach the platform. Global creators often go for a broad, one-size-fits-all approach, aiming for an international audience. Indian YouTubers, though? We're smart. We create localized content. India isn't one audience, it's hundreds of unique communities with different languages, cultures, and interests. And the smartest creators know how to tap into this. We've got Tamil YouTubers killing it in their region, Bengali creators owning their space, and Punjabi YouTubers with a loyal fan base. Global creators don't have the luxury of such diversity. In places like the US or Europe, content is aimed broadly at English-speaking audiences. But in India, we're hitting niches. We're creating in multiple languages, and that gives us a unique edge. People feel connected because the content speaks to them directly, in their language, in their culture. That's a level of relatability global creators struggle to achieve. Now, when you look at Indian YouTube, it's not just the local languages that stand out. It's the sheer variety. We're not just talking about one type of content. We've got comedy channels, tech reviewers, educational content, DIY, food channels, and even devotional stuff. The diversity of content is insane. While creators in other countries might feel pressure to stick to a certain niche or follow trends, Indian creators are doing their own thing. And it works. Take comedy, for example, Carrie Minati, Bhuvan Bam, Ashish Chanchlani, they're all dominating in their own way, but they're not competing with each other. They've found their lanes, and they're sticking to them. The global creators? They're often stuck chasing trends, whether it's crazy stunts, pranks, or controversial takes just to stay relevant. But that's not how Indian creators play the game. And speaking of controversy, let's talk about that for a second. This is where global creators have really shot themselves in the foot. Scandals, drama, and controversy have brought down some of the biggest names on YouTube. Logan Paul? We all remember the suicide forest incident. PewDiePie? The controversies are almost endless. These are not just small mistakes, they're career-threatening moves that shake the trust of their audience. In India, we don't get caught up in all that. Indian creators stay focused on the content. It's about consistency, not controversy. There's no need for risky stunts or drama to stay relevant. The clean, focused approach is paying off. While global creators are spending half their time doing damage control or trying to outdo their last scandalous stunt, Indian creators are just out here creating without the noise. And the audience respects that. Another massive issue global creators face? Burnout. It's real, and it's hitting hard. Big names like David Dobrik and Lily Singh have talked about how the pressure to constantly create, innovate, and top their last video has left them drained. Dobrik took a long break. Lily struggled with burnout before shifting her focus to other projects. The problem is that the pressure to constantly do more, to be more extreme, is relentless. But Indian creators? We pace ourselves. It's not about trying to explode overnight. It's about longevity. We build our audience gradually, and we keep delivering what they expect without burning ourselves out. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And that's why Indian YouTubers can keep going, year after year, without feeling that overwhelming pressure to always do more. And now we're seeing a shift globally with the rise of short-form content like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram Reels. While some creators around the world are struggling to adapt to this change, Indian YouTubers are already owning this space. YouTube Shorts is a major hit here. Indian creators quickly adapted, creating snappy, engaging content that works perfectly in the short-form format. In fact, YouTube Shorts has become one of the fastest-growing platforms in India. This adaptability is key. The platform changes, but Indian creators aren't waiting around, they're always ahead of the curve. It's a mix of strategy and intuition, knowing when to pivot, when to experiment, and how to keep the audience hooked. The global creators, meanwhile, often feel like they're playing catch-up. Another reason Indian creators are thriving? We're not just sticking to YouTube. Indian creators are cross-platform pros. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, we're everywhere. This means our audience isn't just limited to one platform. We're building empires, not just YouTube channels. This cross-platform dominance allows creators to tap into multiple revenue streams, engage different kinds of audiences, and keep themselves relevant across the board. Many global creators rely heavily on YouTube. When algorithm changes hit or new platforms like TikTok rise, they're often left scrambling. Indian creators, though? We've already diversified. We know how to spread our influence across different platforms, ensuring that we're never dependent on one place. So, what can global creators learn from India's rise on YouTube? Stay focused, stay consistent, and most importantly, adapt. The future of YouTube isn't about who can make the craziest viral video, it's about who can keep up with the changes and stay relevant for the long haul. India's creators have mastered this, and that's why we're leading the charge. At the end of the day, YouTube is a constantly evolving battlefield, and the smart creators are the ones who know how to adapt. India's success isn't a fluke, it's strategy. And if the rest of the world doesn't catch up soon, they might find themselves watching from the sidelines. Final thought. So, to all the global creators out there, take notes. Consistency beats controversy. Long-term strategy beats short-term gimmicks. And adaptability? That's the name of the game. YouTube is changing, but Indian creators have shown the world how to win. The real question is, can everyone else keep up? The future of YouTube isn't about who can make the most viral video, it's about who can stay relevant, consistent, and engaged with their audience. India's creators have figured that out, and the numbers speak for themselves. At the end of the day, YouTube is a battlefield, and only the smart players survive. India has proven that we have what it takes to win, and the rest of the world is watching. So, the real question is, can the world keep up? Final thought. So, what can global creators learn from India's rise on YouTube? Stay focused, stay consistent, and most importantly, adapt. YouTube will keep changing, but the ones who evolve with it will be the ones who win.